Get some reaction then and some analysis. I'm joined by political analyst David Maimela to talk to me about some of these issues. Firstly, I suppose before we get to the issues around Mandla Ndlovu and the others, David, let's start with, is this the emergence of the Mpumalanga provincial ANC from the shadow of David Mabuza? Is it a true and a proper emergence, as in, the David Mabuza chapter is now closed? Because, despite the fact that the deputy president, now deputy president, left Mpumalanga in 2017, but he did seem to loom large in the provincial politics for a period of time. Is that era now over?
I'm losing it.
David Maimela, I don't know if you can hear me. All right, we do seem to have a bit of a challenge with his connection. Let's try and re-establish the connection to David Maimela, and then we will continue with the conversation. Let's see if we can give it one more try. David Maimela, I don't know if you can hear me. Let's first confirm that.
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic, I've got you now. So I was asking if this provincial conference and the outcome thereof, does it signal, drawing a line under the chapter of the ANC being dominated by the presence earlier on and at least the influence of David Mabuza, or does it not represent that?
Yes, I think internally, in terms of the history and the politics of the ANC in Mpumalanga, it does represent a transition to a new kind of chapter and a new kind of leadership. You'd remember that since 1994, there have been virtually about 3 dominant figures in the province. Firstly, in the name of former provincial chair Matthew Sposa, followed by David Mabuza, and of course, we know that there was Thabang Makwetla, who in his own right is quite a very well-known and quite a very strong kind of leader with very established roots in Mkhonto Wesizwe and so on. We know that, but there have always been these 2 dominant figures, and in the form of Matthew Sposa and now David Mabuza. But I think this represents that kind of transition. It's a bit of a departure, and we're beginning to see some new leaders emerging. KZN also went through the same thing, by the way. So you had Sbu Ndebele, then you had Zweli Mkhize, and now you've got the Sihle Zigalala. So it's a transitional thing that is happening in provinces, and quite soon enough, it's likely to happen as well at the national level.
What do we know about Mandla Ndlovu, or does he remain an enigma in our politics?
Not much is actually known about him, except that he's been a long standing and serving member of the ANC in the structures in the province. He's been in the regions. He's been in the provincial executive committee as he was the acting chair in the interim since the departure of David Mabuza. And
that might change, might it not, David Maimela, given the fact that at least at the last conference of the ANC in 2017, Mpumalanga emerged as the second biggest voting bloc, having eclipsed the Eastern Cape at that particular point. And they were critical, was Mpumalanga, in the outcome, at least that's the reading and understanding of those who were observing that 2017 national conference. Already now, you are starting to hear commentary that is sort of painting a picture of Mandla Ndlovu being, quote-unquote, an ally of President Cyril Ramaphosa. So he's likely to take on a more prominent role and get under more focus, he and his leadership, as we build up to December.
Yeah, I think Mpumalanga is quite an important province in the internal politics of the party, but also it's a very crucial province in our national politics because it continues to receive in the regions of about 80% electoral support for the ANC, and that's quite a very significant number. So much as you don't often see prominent leaders of the
Yeah. All right, David Maimela, I'm afraid the network is letting us down once again, but I think we've gotten enough from that conversation. And thank you for your time and your insights here on eNCA. That's political analyst there, David Maimela. The network deciding to cut him off at that particular point, but thank you for your inputs.